Crossroads TV podcast. Peace.
Brandon Aiyuk, 0 targets. Trey Sermon, healthy scratch. All right. First, let's talk about Aiyuk. I did see a tweet, and I don't know, was it Matty Barrows or whoever it was, but there was a tweet about Brandon Aiyuk saying that he's potentially in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse, and we've seen guys get in that doghouse for whatever reason. Now, I didn't hear Kyle Shanahan say this, but I know I got a response from someone saying, well, Kyle said he kind of wanted to preserve Aiyuk a little bit, and you guys could tell me if you guys heard this or read this or anything, but he wanted to preserve Aiyuk a little bit because something about his hamstring and whatnot, and he wants to see those things or his growing get better or whatever. But here's my thing. If you are truly worried about somebody's hamstring or growing or whatever, you sure do have him opening up on to clear it out for Deebo Samuel underneath. Now you're putting a lot of stress on those soft tissue muscles. That was interesting to see. You have them playing just in general. Typically, when you have soft tissue injuries like that, you want these guys to just relax until that thing feels 100%. If it's not 100%, you risk the chance of injury just doing anything. So carries, they just had him out there. So we're talking about him running clear outs where he has to really open up and stretch the defense vertically, but his hamstring hurting. All right. And then just playing him in general, and then having him do punt returns, putting that at harm's way, all the different movements and reacting and things like that. So I didn't hear Kyle Shanahan say that, but I know I got a response from that on Twitter where somebody was like, Kyle was saying something about him being hurt. So obviously we know that he was having some injuries, issues or whatever. How much did that affect him, in his usage in the game? I don't know, but if I have any questions about him potentially re-injuring something or not being 100% healthy, then I'm just not playing him. And I'm just going, and I'll bring up Travis Benjamin, and I'll play Deebo, and I'll play Sanu, and I'll play Trent Sherfield, and I'll play Juwan Jennings. And you go sit down and get healthy. As far as Trey Sermon goes, that was a little more interesting. But I'll say this. One, when Trey Sermon was drafted, I didn't think he was a Kyle Shanahan style back. I thought maybe Kyle was trying to do something a little different with maybe a more patient back. Maybe not the super explosive back that we've seen from really all the other guys. He's not even like a shifty guy. So I was thinking best case scenario, he's your Arian Foster. And did Kyle coach Arian Foster in Houston at all? That would be something interesting to know. And maybe he reminded Kyle of Arian Foster. Now the thing with Arian Foster, he was an undrafted rookie free agent. He was not a 3rd round pick and somebody that you traded up for. So if you trade up for him, clearly somebody really likes him. But Mitchell seemed to be a little bit more of Kyle's fit from what we've seen, right? Like just that one cut guy that can get vertical right now. You see that with the speed and the home run ability. Then it was good to see him kind of break through some tackles and things like that. And we'll get into him a little bit, but I did not think Sermon was that type of back. I did not think that Sermon's style necessarily fit exactly what Kyle did. But again, did see Kyle have Morris. What was Morris's first name? Alfred Morris run for 1,600 yards. So we'll see if he continues to just be a healthy scratch. Thought that was interesting. If anything, I thought it would have been Hasty. So the fact that Hasty actually played, suited up, and only got 1 carry, so it's not like they planned on using him a whole lot, but do they value him right now more than Sermon? What is Sermon not doing well? And Sermon was a guy who was getting all the first team if not first team, then second team reps all through training camp. And now all of a sudden he's just not playing. That was hella interesting to see. So I don't know, man. We talk about these guys and potentially in Kyle Shanahan's doghouse. That doghouse is scary with Kyle Shanahan. He's someone who expects a certain level of professionalism. All right, he expects a certain level of professionalism. He expects his guys to perform a certain way. He expects his guys to carry themselves a certain way. And if they're not doing it to his liking, then I feel like his patience with you is a little bit shorter. And he will do things that make you uncomfortable. Now, the one thing I do appreciate with Kyle Shanahan is Even if you get in his dog, like he talks to you about it, he tells you about it. So you have every opportunity to change whatever it is that you're doing, and he wants to get more out of you. He gives you every opportunity to do that. He has these conversations with you. So on Locked On 49ers, I talked about my incident in college, right? And I went to a Division II school. And, week 1, week 2, playing well. I wasn't giving up any catches. We're balling, whatever. We win. Week 3, we lose. Think maybe I gave up 2 catches that game. Nothing crazy. I come into the meetings and I'm benched. And I don't know why. And it blows up in the meeting. I'm trying to fight coaches. I'm going back to California. F all y'all. Come fight me, whatever. It blows up because of a miscommunication with them not liking the way I was carrying myself or the way I was practicing as a team captain. It's kind of setting an example for the younger guys. But nobody told me. So had a conversation with me. I fixed it. And I ended up being all conference. I think Kyle Shanahan talks to guys ahead of time. Hey, look, this is what my expectations are for you. This is how you've been carrying yourself. You need to figure out how to get out of this. And, a guy like Trent Sherfield, who carries himself like the ultimate pro. I listened to him on KBR, and I was like, damn. Like, I could see why Kyle Shanahan likes this guy. The way he carries himself, the way he focused, the way he practiced, the way he came in and learned all of the spots, the way he talked about how 49ers offense was drastically more difficult to grasp than the Cardinals playbook. But he came in and learned every spot and said, hey, these guys aren't going to get me off of the field. I know you guys probably hear that bird in the background. I'm in I have a sunroom at my house, so I'm in the sunroom right now. But so there's there's windows, but they're just like giant screens. And anyways, so you can hear the bird out there. But, yeah, man, I kind of went off on a tangent. But anyways, Kyle Shanahan, he keeps it a buck with them. He keeps it real with them. And he lets them know exactly where they stand with him. And if they are going to be in the doghouse, he lets them know exactly why they're there. And they have every opportunity to get themselves out of that. We've seen it with other guys. We've seen it with, even guys like Joe Williams, who never even, I don't need to play the regular season snap with the 49ers. Kelly Witherspoon, he had gotten that doghouse a little bit. How are you going to work to get out of it? We've seen it from Dante Pettis. How are you going to work to get out of it? Dante Pettis struggled with it and struggled with somebody being that upfront and honest with him. And that happens with some guys. Could Aiyuk be going through that similar thing? I saw a report on that. I don't know if that's the case. But definitely Trey Sermon, you were a healthy scratch. You got to figure it out. I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan has talked to them about why, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that from a coach.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.